Good morning, and continuing the reading from the book of Deuteronomy, the fifth book of Moses called Deuteronomy, the last four chapters, chapter 30 to 34. The last four chapters, total 34 chapters, are there in Deuteronomy, the fifth book of Moses called Deuteronomy from the Old Testament of the Holy Bible, beginning at chapter 30. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord God has driven thee, and shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice, according to all that I have commanded thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord God will turn thy captivity, have compassion upon thee, and will gather and return thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God has scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the outermost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord of thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. He will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers. And the Lord thy God will circumcise thy heart, the heart of thy seed, and to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, that thou mightest live. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hurt thee, which persecute thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord, to do all his commandments which I command unto thee this day. And the Lord thy God will make thee plenteous in every work of thy hand, in the fruit of thy body, the fruit of thy cattle, in the fruit of the land, for good. For the Lord will rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in this book of the law, and if thou turn unto the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. For this is the commandment which I command thee this day. It is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldst say, Who shall go up for us unto heaven, and bring it unto us, that we may hear and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldst say, Who shall go over the sea for us, and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth, in thy heart, that thou may do it. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. That the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. And if thy heart turn away, so thou wilt not hear, but thou shalt be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce you this day, that ye shall surely perish, and ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou may obey his voice, and thou may cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. And Moses went and spake these words unto all Israel. And he said unto them, I am 120 years old this day. I can no more go out and come in. Also the Lord has said unto me, Thou shalt not go over Jordan. The Lord thy God, he will go over before thee, and he will destroy these nations from before thee. Thou shalt possess them, and Joshua, he shall go over before thee, as the Lord has said. And the Lord shall do unto them as he did to Sihon and Og, king of Amorites, and unto the land of them that he destroyed. And the Lord shall give them up before your face, that he may do unto them according unto all the commandments which I have commanded unto you. Be of strong and good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee. And Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and of good courage, for thou must go with this people unto the land which the Lord has sown unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. And the Lord, he it is that goeth before thee, he will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And Moses wrote this law, and delivered it unto the priests and the sons of Levi, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and unto the elders of Israel. And Moses commanded them, saying, At the end of every 7 years, in the solemnity of the year of release, in the feast of the tabernacles, when all Israel is come to appear before the Lord thy God, in the place which he shall choose. Thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing. Gather the people together, men and women and children, stranger that is within the gates, that they may hear, they may learn, and fear the Lord your God, and observe to do all the words of this law, and that their children which have not known anything may hear and learn to fear the Lord your God, as long as you live in the land which whither ye go over Jordan to possess it. And the Lord said unto Moses, Behold, thy days approach that thou must die. Call Joshua and present yourself in the tabernacle of the congregation, that I may give him a charge. And Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves in the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Lord appeared in the tabernacle in a pillar of cloud, and the pillar of cloud stood over the door of the tabernacle. And the Lord said unto Moses, Behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whither they shall go be among them, and will forsake me, and break my covenant which I have made unto them. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them. I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them. So that they will say in that day, Are not this evil come upon us, because our God is not among us? And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which shall have wrought, in that they are turned unto other gods. Now therefore write ye this song for you, teach it to the children of Israel, put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Israel. For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swear unto their fathers, that floweth with milk and honey, they shall have eaten and filled themselves, wax and fat. Then will ye turn unto other gods, and serve them, and provoke me, and break my covenant. And it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles are befallen them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of the seed. For I know their imagination when they go about, even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swear. Moses therefore wrote this song the same day and taught it to the children. And he gave Joshua the son of Nun a charge and said, Be strong and of good courage, for thou shalt bring the children of Israel into the land which I swear unto them, and I will be thee. And it shall come to pass, when Moses had made an end of writing of the words of this law in a book, until they were finished, that Moses commanded the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, Take this book of law, put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, that it may be for a witness against thee. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive unto you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Lord. And how much more after my death? Gather unto me all the elders of your tribes, and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears, and call heaven and earth to record against them. For I know that after my death ye will utterly corrupt yourself, and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. And an evil will befall you in the latter days, but ye will do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. And Moses spake in the ears of all the congregation of Israel the words of this song until they were ended. Chapter 32. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O ye earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of the Lord, and ascribe greatness unto our God. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. They have corrupted themselves, their spot is not the spot of his children. They are as perverse and crooked generation. Do ye this? Requite the Lord, O foolish people and unwise. Is not he thy father that hath bought thee, that he not made thee and established thee? Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the law of his inheritance. He has found him a desert land in the waste howling wilderness. He led them about. He instructed him He kept him as the apple of his eye, as an eagle stirreth up his nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead them, and there was no strange God with him. And he made him ride high on the places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields, that he might suck the honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine, milk of sheep, fat of lambs, rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats, the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. And Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook God, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that newly came up, whom the fathers feared not. O the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful, hast forgotten God that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them, because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end will be, for they are a froward generation, children in whom is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. I will move them to jealousy with those that are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with the foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundation of the mountains. They shall be burnt with hunger, and devoured with burning heat, with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, the poison of serpents of the dust, the sword without, the terror without, shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also with the man of grey hairs. I said, I will scatter them into corners. I will make them the remembrance of them to cease from among them. Were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, Our hand is high, and the Lord has not done all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider the latter end. How should one chase 1,000, or two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them, and the Lord had shut them up? For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. For their wine is the wine of Sodom, and the fields of Gomorrah. The grapes are the grapes of gall, the clusters are bitter. The wine is the poison of dragons, the cruel venom of asps. Is not this laid up in store with me, and sealed up among my treasures? To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. For the Lord shall judge his people, and repent himself for his servants, when he seeth that their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left. And he shall say, Where are their gods, the rock in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of the sacrifices, and drank the wine of the drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you, and be your protection. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand unto heaven, and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword, and my hand take hold of judgment, I will render vengeance upon mine enemies, and I will reward them that hate me. I will make mine arrows drunk with blood. My sword shall devour flesh, and that which the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. Rejoice, O nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people. And Moses came and spake all the words of this song in the ears of the people, he and Hoshea the son of Nun. And Moses made an end of speaking all these words to Israel. And he said unto them, Set your hearts unto the words which I testify among you this day, which ye shall command your children to observe to do all the words of the law. For it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life. And through this thing ye shall prolong your days in the land, whither ye go over Jordan to possess it, And the Lord spake unto Moses the selfsame day, saying, Get thee up on the mountain Abarim, unto Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, that is over against Jericho. And behold the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel for a possession. And die in the mount whither thou goest up, be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother died in Mount Hor, and was gathered unto his people. Because he trespassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah, Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin, because he sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel. Yet thou shalt see the land before thee, but thou shalt not go thither unto the land which I give unto the children of Israel. Chapter 33. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses the man of God blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, The Lord came from Sinai, and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. And from his right hand went a fiery law for them. Yes, he loved the people. All his saints are in his hand, and they sat down at his feet. Every one shall receive of my words. Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. And he was king in Jeshurun, when the heads of the people and the tribes of Israel were gathered together. Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, Hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou a help to him from his enemies. And of Levi he said, Let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Marsha, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah, who said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, for they have observed thy word and kept thy covenant. They shall teach Jacob thy judgments, and Israel thy law. They shall put incense before thee, and hold burnt sacrifice unto thy altar. Bless thou his substance, and accept the work of thy hands. Smite through the loins of them that rise against him, and of them that hate him, and they shall not rise again. And of Benjamin he said, The beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him, and the Lord shall cover him all day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. And of Joseph he said, Blessed of the Lord be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that croucheth beneath, and for the precious fruits brought upon by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills, and the precious things of the earth and the fullness thereof, and for the goodwill of him that dwell in the bush. Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock. His horns are like the horns of the unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth. And there are 10,000s of Ephraim, and there are thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, Rejoice, Zebulun, in thy going out, and Issachar in thy tents. They shall call the people unto the mountains. They shall offer sacrifices of righteousness. They shall suck of the abundance of the seas, of the treasures hid in the sand. And of God he said, Blessed be he that enlargeth God. He dwelleth as a lion, and teareth his arm with the crown of his head. And he provided the first part for himself, because there in a portion of the lawgiver was he seated. And he came with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord, and his judgments with Israel. And of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's whelp, he shall leap from Bashan. And of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor, full with the blessing of the Lord, possess thou the west and the south. And of Asher he said, Let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. Thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days, so shall thy strength be. There is none like unto the Lord, unto the God of Jeshurun, who rideth upon the heaven in thy help, and in his excellency on the sky. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are everlasting arms. And he shall thrust out the enemy from thee, and shall say, Destroy them. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon the land of corn and wine. Also his heaven shall drop down dew. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help. Who is the sword of thy excellency? Thine enemy shall be found liars unto thee. and thou shalt tread upon high places. The last chapter of the book of Deuteronomy, the fifth book of Moses from the Old Testament of the Holy Bible, chapter 34. And Moses went up from the plains of Moab unto the mountain of Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, that is over Jericho. And the Lord showed him all the land of Gilead unto Dan, and all Naphtali, and the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, and the land of Judah unto the utmost sea, and the south, and the plain of the valley of Jericho, and the city of the palm trees unto Zoar. And the Lord said unto him, This is the land which I swear unto Abraham, unto Isaac, unto Jacob, saying, I will give it unto thy seed. I have caused thee to see it with thine eyes, but thou shalt not go over thither. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of the Lord. And he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, over against Beth Peor, but no man knoweth of his sepulchre unto this day. And Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eye was not dim, nor his natural force abated. And the children of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. So the days of weeping and mourning for Moses was ended. And Joshua the son of Nun was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands upon him. And the children of Israel hearkened unto him, and did as the Lord commanded Moses. And there arose not a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face, in all the signs and wonders which the Lord hath sent him to do in the land of the Egypt to Pharaoh, and to all his servants, and to all his lands, and in all that mighty hand, and in all the great terror which Moses showed in the sight of Israel. Here ends the book of Deuteronomy.